Welcome back. General Jack Keane is coming up. But first, I had the opportunity to sit down with Cardinal Timothy Dolan, the Archbishop of New York, to discuss his Christmas message and the immigration debate. But I began by asking him about the cloud hanging over the church in the form of abuse by priests. Here's some of that conversation.
Thanks for asking, all right, because a lot of people do. My ears bristle with people who let me know how they feel. And the sentiments that you just expressed, Maria, confusion, anger, frustration, it's widespread out there, so we bishops need to be attentive. You know, Christmas comes at the darkest time of the year, right? In nature, the sun is at its lowest, and it's been a season of darkness for the church as well as we try to confront this scandalous sexual abuse. I will say this, and I do say, Maria, that adding to my frustration is that the good, the reform, the progress that the church has done, and even our enemies, and Lord knows there's enough of them, will say the Catholic Church has been vigorous in trying to reform this. Sometimes that's ignored. Do we still need some reform? You bet we do. Are there still gaps? Yes, I'm afraid there is. But in general, we got a very good process. The problems come, Maria, when we don't obey that process. You know, you've been around for a while in the work of journalism. 17 years ago, in 2002, the bishops of the country passed what we call the Dallas Charter, the Charter to Protect Children and Youth, and it's gotten widespread acclaim. And things have been very, very much better since then. We had a tough summer, Maria, with the McCarrick horror, with the Pennsylvania nausea, with the arguments, with the back and forth between Pope Francis and his former ambassador to the United States, Carla Maria Vigano. So our people, understandably, are saying, what in the world is going on? We thought this was behind us. Yeah. And I'd just like to say, folks, most of it is behind us. Stick with us, call us to task, encourage us, and charge us to be as honest and forthcoming and transparent as possible, and darn it, we'll get through it. Light conquers darkness. That's the message of Christmas, and it's going to happen in the church. For me, Maria, and this is our Catholic teaching, it's a beautiful kind of prudential middle road. There's a legitimate moral call to defend our borders, so we have to have safe and secure borders. However, there's also a noble posture of treating an immigrant and refugee with dignity and respect, and having an inclination always to welcome and embrace them. We Americans have done that well.
That's who we are.
You and I can look out the window and see the Statue of Liberty.
Absolutely.
All right? So somewhere in between those two things is where the truth is. As usual, in media stat virtus, in the middle, virtue stands. Okay, so in the middle of those two values,
virtue stands.
Okay, now, so we got to figure out how to do that. I think all of this shows, why are we arguing all the time about the ill consequences? Why don't we fix our immigration policy?
I know.
Because if we had a fair, safe, secure way to continue our magnificent tradition of welcoming people, we wouldn't have all these people here illegally. They'd be able in a fair way to get in. We don't seem to fix the problem, Maria.
That's right. Yeah.
We're always dealing with the consequences. Yeah. You can't do it. If I'm coughing all the time, I got a throat lozenge like right now. Right. That may last about 10 minutes, but I better get to what's making me cough. I think we need to do this with immigration.
You're right. What's your message this Christmas? Cardinal Dolan, we have such vitriol in this country. The Republicans versus the Democrats, the policy that people don't like. How do we bring people together?
All right. We do have it, don't we? We have a lot of alienation and a lot of division, Maria. The basic message of Christmas is this: the most toxic virus affecting the human project is the division between God and humanity, between the divine and the human. There's a cleavage there. There's a division. God doesn't want it. We've sort of, since the Garden of Eden, chosen it, okay? Christmas gives us the antidote, the antibiotic to that separation between God and the human person, personally, tangibly, in that beautiful little baby of Bethlehem. When we look at that baby, we've got, to borrow from our Jewish older brothers and sisters, Emmanuel. God is with us. In Jesus, we see true God and true man, God and man united. That's the antidote to the division. If we don't bring God into the picture, if we don't bring the message that the whole world is celebrating the day after tomorrow, we're shot. because that's where division comes from. You know what Mother Teresa used to say? She said, Christmas is about joy. J-O-Y. Here's the prescription, folks. J stands for Jesus. Put him first. O, other people. Put them second. Y stands for yourself. Put yourself last. We seem to have it backwards, right? And if we've got this kind of defensive, selfish, narcissistic approach to things, no wonder there's sin and division.
Beautiful message. My thanks to Cardinal Dolan for spending time with us this Christmas.